Good evening, everyone. This is 1st December. Thanks for joining me in this video. The leader of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, Mr. Adebayo, who I think is a very close person to Tinubu, has come out to expose Tinubu in a real time. You know, there are so many things Nigerians know about, but they are afraid to talk about it. But in this interview, this man did not leave any stone unturned. Anyway, just pay attention. There are some words that I want us to analyze in this interview. Take a listen.
And many of the terrorists are well known. They have telephone numbers of governors. And every commissioner of police in the state has the telephone number of terrorists in that state. So, I will end this scam. Oh, clear. There's nothing complicated there. The real terrorist is the Azo Villa. The headquarters of Bokoharam is the same address of Tinubu. So if you post a letter to Tinubu, if it doesn't come out on time, Bokoharam will collect the letter and read it and pass it to him. They live together. They work together. They plan together. And they share together.
How do you mean that the headquarters, the address is at the villa?
Because the villa, the state house, is where all this criminality is being planned. If you deceive yourself and think that Nigerian army cannot defeat the terrorists, then you don't know Nigerian army.
I am not the only one that will hear this. You know, Tinubu is working with Boko Haram. If you send letter to Tinubu, Boko Haram will first read it before Tinubu. And you know, the whole attacks going on in Nigeria is being coordinated in Asorock. If you think this is just because of politics or this is a game, you are dreaming. I want you to understand further what this man is saying. How many of you remember the statement made by Haja Mohammed on Arise News? Take a listen.
Especially as it concerns security. You must have an enabling environment in order to do anything. So you cannot take someone that is virtually senile and another person that has been associated on several occasions with funding terrorism. That is Kashim Shettima. Kashim Shettima, we should not forget Kabiru Sokoto. Kabiru Sokoto was one of the most wanted terrorists, and he was found and arrested in his house. Let us understand and let us not forget, this terrorism, this banditry, this carnage is not just happening by mistake. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. A multi-billion-dollar industry because it takes a lot of money on defense budget. It has a lot to do with the sale of drugs. It has a lot to do with mining and illegal bunkering and illegal and illicit mining.
So who is the Boko Haram in Asorock? Who is the Boko Haram in Asorock? Anyway, let us dive into the parts of the interview that I would like you to examine very well. Then we'll talk after it.
Looking at what the issue of insecurity, which is the paramount thing now, and the Constitution talks about the cardinal responsibility of any responsible government is the protection of lives and property. We are discussing negotiating with terrorists here and there. They release today, they go back and pick again. How do you feel as a Nigerian?
There is no negotiation with terrorists. What you have are official terrorists and bush terrorists having a conversation. So what you call negotiation is the discussion about sharing formula between the official terrorists who bring the money and the unofficial terrorists in whose name they are collecting the money.
Mr. Adebayo further said that there is nothing like negotiation with the terrorists in Nigeria. You know, when I first hear what he said, I said, what is this man talking about? Before I now listen to the rest of things he said after that. He said that the official bandits are the one in Asorock, in Tinubu's office. Then the unofficial ones are the one in the bush. So those people will kidnap, abduct school children. Then the official one will come and pay the money. That what you are seeing as negotiation is they are discussing the sharing formula. Guys, if you play with what this man is saying, you know you don't know Nigeria. I know Nigeria. That is why I am not playing with what he said.
It's a racket. They are running a racket in front of you. There's a lot of money in government, and insecurity is one way to collect it without receipts. That's what they are doing. They're just scamming the Nigerians. There is no insecurity in the land that Nigerian armed forces and Nigerian police cannot get rid of under a good presidential system, under a good presidency. They will get rid of it. What they are doing is just scamming you. Just that they are constructing roads to nowhere. They are building bridges that will never finish. There are a lot of projects in the sky. They found out that all other projects, you ask them, where's the road? Where's the bridge? Where's the school? But if they inundate you with insecurity, you cannot, and they say they are rescuing 500 children, and 500 billion is gone. You cannot ask for receipt. If they are in the bushes, exchanging food and drinks with terrorists, and tell you that they have spent 4 trillion to keep you secure, you know you can't ask questions. That's why the president will tell you, every president will tell you, I will finish them. But when he comes in, they finish him with money. And he feels, okay, this is an easy way to raise money for campaign. That is why Nigeria has, in the world of hotel business, Nigeria has the highest number of military generals owning hotels, estates, and everything, on a salary of how much? Imagine an untrained person who happens to be a fanatic or a lunatic, and he says he's setting up a band of terrorists, and they are occupying territories the size of a state. How are they financing it? The logistics of it, the communication, and the whole country cannot raise an army to defeat them. If a terrorist is recruiting, before you can get 1,000 people, the government will know that it's a terrorist already. Government can quietly recruit 100,000 soldiers and nobody will know, and train them. A terrorist can be sponsored by 2 or 3 countries. Nigeria has 146 international friends. Many of them have treaties with us that will not stop them, that will not allow them to give excuses not to assist us. And many of the terrorists are well known. They have telephone numbers of governors. And every commissioner of police in the state has the telephone number of terrorists in that state. So, I will end this scam. Oh, clear. There's nothing complicated there. The real terrorist is the Asorock. The headquarters of Bokoharam is the same address of Tinubu. So if you post a letter to Tinubu, if it doesn't come out on time, Bokoharam will collect the letter and read it and pass it to him. They live together. They work together. They plan together. And they share together.
How do you mean that the headquarters, the address is at the villa?
Because the villa, the state house, is where all this criminality is being planned. If you deceive yourself and think that Nigerian army cannot defeat the terrorists, then you don't know Nigerian army. Try and whistle at the wife of a general, and you see how the entire barrack will descend on you. Try and a home minister of FCT could not collect 1 plot of land. You saw how that Navy captain stood his ground there, telling Wike, yes, you are not coming here. Imagine if every captain stood their ground and said terrorists not entering Nigeria like that. If the armed forces strong enough to stop a minister who is representing the president from misbehaving on the land that he has interest, say, I have my orders. So are you telling me, if the president of Nigeria gives an order that the whole of Lagos State should be evacuated, the army in Lagos will evacuate everybody? If they give an order that the whole of Kanu State should be evacuated, the army has enough capacity to evacuate the whole state. The president made a proclamation, and the entire government house was forcibly evacuated in 1 day. So you are telling me that the president wants to end this thing, he will not end it? But their political money is tied to it.
Mm.
And if you think maybe because I don't like them, which I don't pretend about that. Go and read the EFCC reports on what Jonathan did with the money he borrowed in the name of fighting Boko Haram. You are a journalist. You saw the trials. You saw the investigation. Who was collecting the money? The money was shared to politicians, girlfriends, contractors,
are hoping for?
Well, whether we like it or not, we are living in a global village. Let me use a very popular cliche. I mean, the world knows our situation, which is the reason why those who really are concerned about what's going on in this country. Look, there are attempts by interests to take over huge territory, part of Nigeria, part of Chad, part of Cameroon, part of Niger, and turn it into the global headquarters of terror. Those in intelligence circles know this. I'm saying this publicly now. A lot of people know this. We must never allow that kind of thing to happen. We don't want to live under ISWA. We don't want to live under Bokoharam. We don't want to live under Lukrawa. We don't want to live under...
And you know, sometimes if some people are naming Tinubu, I say, yes, he's the president, but Tinubu told you that if he fights insecurity, that they will kill him.
And Aswaju called me. He says, Hajia, I said, sir. He said, I respect your stance on not accepting the appointment. I said, yes, sir, because I can't be a zombie. I just can't follow you because you said I should follow you. Let me know what you have for us up north. Because if I made a mistake on Buhari, with you, the truth is written on the horizon. So I have to know what you have for us. He said he's in London, that if I can, I should go over. He offered to buy me a ticket. I said, no, sir, I can afford a ticket. And then he said, can I get a hotel for you? I said, yes, that I will appreciate. I took the next Lufthansa to London. I saw him that same night, and we sat. And I said, sir, the reason why I'm not accepting your appointment is because I don't know what you have for us up north. Because in the north, every single person is either waiting to be killed or kidnapped. We can't go on like this. What is your blueprint for us? He told me
we can't go on like this.
That he doesn't have anything for us. I said, you mean, sir, you don't have a blueprint? He said, I can't have a blueprint because if I have a blueprint, I'll be stepping on too many toes and they might even kill me. This was what he said.
If I fight insecurity, they will kill me. This is what Tinubu told this lady. You know, this lady came to Arise News to say it. She can't hold it back that a president is telling you, if I fight insecurity, they will kill me. For you to know the magnitude, how the people are perpetrating this thing, how powerful they are, but they are not more powerful than the people. And I don't think there is anything that will stop a revolution when the time comes, because Nigerians are docile. I don't think they still know what is going on. Maybe we need to sensitize people, tell people the truth, tell people what is actually going on, that the DSS is busy chasing Omo and they should already detaining Nnamdi Kanu to anywhere to make sure they arrest you, they do whatever they want to do. But they are covering the criminals who are internationally recognized in their country, aiding them. It is obvious. I am not the one saying it. Their head of intelligence, Kunde Ondawumi, he's still alive. He made 1 hour video on Chinese television exposing DSS, exposing DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency, exposing the presidency, exposing the governors. The man said a lot. And if half of Nigerians should listen to that man, I think within 1 week there will be a revolution in Nigeria. People don't still understand what is going on and what is to come. Your politicians are responsible for the killings in Nigeria.
We have a confession that the media has not given appropriate attention. Kawu Baraje Alhaji was a leading chieftain of the APC. And he has confessed that they imported the foreign mercenaries who have become bandits. He has confessed. How much more evidence do you need? He has confessed that they imported them for the elections. This is public. Why is the media not following up? Why are we not asking for accountability? So it seems very clear to me and to so many others. If you're in the public space, you hear people talking and pointing fingers. The ruling party is the direct sponsor of terrorism and insecurity in Nigeria. My name is Martin Onubu. I said it. APC is the direct sponsor of insecurity and terrorism in Nigeria. Ask me for the evidence.
What advice?
Good. I just gave you confession of Kawu Baraje. Okay. That's number one. Number two, Miyetti Allah made a public statement that if you want peace in your state, don't call any meeting. Provide land for Fulanis in your state. Public statement. Miyetti Allah. Miyetti Allah is a collaborator with the ruling party. We had a report that the ruling party funded Miyetti Allah to the tune of 100 billion. I wasn't there when the payment was made, but that's in the public domain. We had an official report that the government of Nigeria was going to establish a radio station in collaboration with Miyetti Allah, where Fufude, the Fulani tribal dialect, will be the language of communication. Now, interestingly, you asked me for facts. We have it on the authority of the Ondo State government that the PRO of Miyetti Allah in Ondo State led the criminal suspect gang that killed Parafashoranti's daughter. That is on the authority of the Ondo State government. And they have been arrested. And the leader of the gang is the PRO of Miyetti.
All right. You see, the reason why we bring these videos has nothing to do with tribe or where you come from. We talk the truth, we state the truth, we bring out the evidence for Nigerians to see what actually happened and what is happening. So, what we are establishing in this video is what we have been saying, and we will continue to say it. And every now and then, we'll continue to also tell people on ground who are not on social media. Your politicians imported the terrorists who are killing you. And we are not going to forgive them because of what they did. No remorse, nothing. And when you talk, they come after you. When you talk, they want to kill you. When you talk, as if people don't know what transpired, as if people don't know what happened. Thank you for having time to listen to me. This is 4:31 p.m. Nigerian time. See you on my next video.
There is no question in my view, and I come from an area where you have, like you rightly said, sir, there is hardly any part of Nigeria where you don't have solid minerals, even in the south. But what I observe, whereas the federal government is ruthless with people who are doing illegal oil buckling, and they deploy JTF to deal with those involved in illegal buckling. When it comes to illegal mining of solid minerals, the federal government changes. It's like using different standards. And I'm very angry about that. Because if we have to fight, deploy army, even to kill, for anyone who is involved in illegal buckling of oil, and you deploy JTF, a combination of army, police, air force, everybody, why are we allowing illegal mining in many parts of the country that is going on? And they are being mined by retired generals, and we know them. Yes, we know them. Nobody can pretend he doesn't know them. I did a letter to former President Buhari, because somebody I sent to go and conduct a primary somewhere reported back to me, a retired general of Northern Instruction, told me that, look, Adams, you are worried about the challenge of conducting primaries in Zafara. The challenge you see is there is far more than that. And if it's not dealt with, Nigeria will not know peace in parts of the country. And this gold go all the way through the belt, all to Kaduna. And it up to, yeah, correct. And he told me that those involved in this illegal mining, they use choppers. They procure arms exactly the same way as our military were doing in the South. They give them arms. They use choppers to come and cut away the gold. And they take them out of this country and make billions of US dollars. And the federal government is not doing what it should be doing. I took this letter to the former president when I was national chairman of APC. And I said, call the general to give you more brief. In fact, what is happening, or what subsequently happened in that part of the country, was exactly what the general told me was going to happen. Because these guys have been weaponized by the illegal big men who deploy them, secure territories, and the weapon is meant to protect the Chinese and other foreigners who they actually employ to carry out the mining. And on occasion, they use the same weapon to carry out banditry, kidnapping, and all of the terrible things that are going on. Chief of Committee Chairman of Defense Staff, tell the defense I said so. But, yeah, that some retired military officers, army officers are involved in it. The day we can't tell the truth, this country cannot flourish. We can't change our, when it affects our people, we are at our best. We talk strong. Some other people appear to be above the law. That is what is going on with solid mineral. It is not that we don't know where it is. We have a whole survey of where we have what across the length and breadth of Nigeria. We also know, everybody complaining about certain people from certain nationalities. How they got here, even as we are talking now, they are doing those illegal mining. And those guys are getting richer when Nigeria State is getting poorer. But we carry the consequences of banditry, kidnapping, and that which this on illegal armed men, which they equip. Sir, who can afford to buy a chopper to land in an illegal mining site, cut away gold, return to Sediti, and then on the way to airport, bam, take them out of the country? This is happening. So I agree with you, but my position is that we shouldn't, as senators, be lamenting. As senators, we should fix the problem. We should tell the executive, you must deploy exactly the same force that you deploy against illegal oil bunkering. That same force should be deployed to deal with criminals who are money. When I say criminal, it can be a retired general, it can be a retired permanent secretary, it can be a retired trade unionist or a retired labor leader. Whoever is involved, they should be dealt with. Let Nigeria see that we are not condoning this. We are not lamenting what is going on. When you have a country of people who are above the law because they are supposed to have served the country, and they have retired, and now they become the real barons. So I agree with you that the solid sector, and I'm happy with the word made by Baba that oil was discovered by accident. What they were looking for was solid mineral.